Howdy y'all, welcome back. So guys, this video we are going to be doing the exhaust and our condor bushings. So as you saw in the last video, we got the RTD shifter on, we have our condor bushings, we have our clean and fresh looking transmount. So bushings, transmount, back under the car, bolt it all up before we can put the exhaust on. But what we gotta do tonight, guys, we have to grind this down, clean this up, and re-weld all of this exhaust. So let's get to it. Whatever, my GoPro's being weird. So as you guys can see, I think you can see a couple areas. We have exhaust leaks all over the place. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab a grinder and we are gonna get to grinding all of these joints up that are leaking, clean up the exhaust all the way, and then we are going to re-weld it and get all these joints perfect. So let's get to it. So we've got a little bit ground down. We haven't gotten all of it. It's gotten late, so I can't do too much grinding. But we have knocked a lot of this down, and so that this doesn't move, because I've knocked a lot of the welds off, we are going to tack weld all these joints to make sure they don't move, because a few of these are loose and I don't want to lose the shape of the exhaust. So we are going to tack weld in a few spots that we've already ground down, do that so that everything holds tight, and then tomorrow we'll come back and we will grind down the entire thing, sand everything, clean it all up, and get it ready for finish welding and paint. For our purposes today, we are going to use the good old flux core welder. So, just so we can tack these up, bust this out, we'll finish welding with the MIG welder so we can get all the way around, make pretty welds tomorrow. But for now, we're going to pull out this one and just tack weld it and be done. It is morning. We are going to finish cleaning up and grinding all these joints up. We have our stick welder out, so we are going to finish welding all of these items that we have left. Then we're going to sand the whole exhaust down, and we're going to get to coating it. Just get all these cleaned up and bust out the welder. So camera died, but we have a lot, well, most of that welded up, cleaned down, ground down. We did end up finding, you can see right there, we did end up finding a hole where the exhaust was super low. You can see where it was scraping at one point. That was before I was air, and we scraped through, and it was too thin to actually weld the hole back together. So we put in a plate, welded it, and now it's ground down. Same here, same there. We have a little hole there that we gotta fill too, so we gotta make a little plate, put it there. And then back here, we have it all ground down. I just need to re-weld all the way around that. Once we do, then we can pull it out in the yard and we can sand it with the sander, get it down so it's kind of smooth everywhere, and then we can hit it with the paint. Let's do it. So now that we have everything welded, everything grinded down. Everything looks good. We're gonna hit it with some sandpaper real quick, knock down a few rough areas in different places, and get the old paint off and get it prepped for new paint. So we have the whole exhaust sanded and cleaned and welded and everything, and it's done. It looks really good. I wish we could just polish it, but that would take literally forever, and I am not getting into polishing this exhaust. So we're gonna paint it black with some ceramic coating. I was gonna do that Cerakote or Creek coat or whatever it's called, but the lead time was too long on it, and I kind of wanted to get this done and back on the car, and it's gonna look good. You're not really gonna see any of it anyways, so we're gonna spray it down, wipe it down, clean it, prep it, and start spraying. Now we let that dry, and we are going to do some Christmas shopping, come back, and then we'll keep coating that with a couple more coats so that it is all one consistent color. So we have the exhaust all painted up. As you can see, guys, we've taped off a little bit of the backside. We're going to do that one all gloss. So we are going to spray up just that last bit that you can see on the underside of the car. We're going to do that, get that all cleaned up, and then we're going to jump back in here, clean up the underside so we can put the transmission brace back in and get all this back in the car so we can get it back on the ground. So let's get this painted and we'll be right back. So it's dark. I know you can't see me, but jump under the car. You can see, let's see if we can get you in here. You can see we have the transmission brace back up, the new Condor bushings, and we have all our RTD stuff, and we actually cleaned up the underside of the car. Only thing we have left to do is reinstall the exhaust, clean up the underside so that we can undercoat it, and then this car can go finally back down on the ground. But you can see we have our exhaust, the end painted up nicely, and it is gloss. The rest is going to be flat black. Then we can slide it under, hook it all up, and we can be done underneath the car. Then the next thing is we start, well, now I gotta pull the diffuser out of the garage, out of the attic, so we can put that back on, because we took the Macaw, or MK Motorsports, whatever it is, off the car, sold it, so we gotta put the other diffuser back on. But yeah, so that's what we got planned. But that car is almost ready to go back down on the ground. So guys, before we put the exhaust back on, I don't know, most of you know that we had this little carbon fiber surround around the bumper, but I have some extra carbon fiber that I made, and I really want to remake this so it's a little bit cleaner. It's also gotten burnt from the exhaust tip, and the paint around it could use some work. So we're going to pull this off, lay it down, remake the template, and clean up the bumper and everything, remake the template, cut it, put it back on, and then we'll slip the exhaust on and be done with the exhaust. Ugh. That is... So, after we got that plate off, realized this paint underneath this plate was absolutely horrible. It's actually like really bad. So what we're gonna do at a later date, we're gonna sand this down, paint the whole back bumper, just redo the whole bumper because it's a mess. And there's no way to fix it. There's black overspray everywhere, scratches all in it. It's gonna be easier just to sand the whole bumper, repaint the whole thing, and be done. So we'll do that at a later date, but for now, let's slide this exhaust in and get it hooked up. So now that we have the exhaust up here, we are tightening down, or actually we're just hand tightening all the hardware on here so that we can make sure everything's lined up, make sure all the gaskets are good, and then we are going to then tighten it all up. We have all these in here just hand tight as well. Trying to find the last set of... That's under here. There it is. Hand tight everything. Tighten it down, and we'll be done. So guys, that is it for the exhaust video. It's on. As you can see, it's in the hole. We're going to rework the plate around it so that it is nice and carbon fiber, but that is for the carbon fiber video. As you can see, got some stuff working in the background, but that is next video, guys. So thanks for watching this one. Got the exhaust done, painted, looks good, back on, new hardware, the whole bit. Carbon fiber video is next video, so subscribe, like, comment. Next video is going to be step by step, so if you want to do this, you can.